And immediately we see these cars get single file up through the S's. It appears we didn't have any issues on that start. I look back towards the rear of the field, and I think, Zippy, every single driver has made it through just fine, but now we go into the ever-tricky bus stop, heavy braking zone, get that car to rotate. You could barely go side by side through there, and I already see a wreck in the back around. I believe that is David Wright making his second career start in PALracing, second place finish last week, and that car is toast. Aaron Warren may have been involved. That will throw the yellow. Let's double check to make sure there wasn't something going on somewhere else in the field. Herbertson, Alicia, Doug, Pete Tart, Aiden Gould dropped a fifth off of that. It appears it was for a wreck. David Wright is having trouble getting that car around. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay.
Tough to see there right after the restart for a guy that, you know, showed promise on the oval.
So we only got the Aaron Warren. Oh, something way up in front. Let's go ahead and get far chase view and see maybe POV Aaron Warren, what happened here. Oh.
Looks like he got ARCA braked.
I wonder if maybe Gordon Spain helped him out a little bit.
That's kind of what it looked like to me. It looked like Gordon got right into the back end of him there.
Here we go. Dylan Herverton will lead them to green. Jacob Alicia right there with him. It's going to be a drag race into turn one. And all these ponies are going strong. Here we go. Do we see anybody push the envelope? Douglas Henry, 3 wide bottom, looking for the lead inside of Herverton. Herverton is able to clear the pair through the corner. Jacob Lisi on the top line. Pop-Tart Pete, Matthew Legat makes the pass on Aiden Gould. Up through the S's, it's so tight. The stiff suspension makes it a tough drive up through. You can't stay in the throttle all the way around like you could in previous seasons. This new update makes it a little bit tougher to drive and easier for others. We see some 3 wide just behind the back of the pack. Gordon Spain, Logan Wilson. But Dylan Herverton continues to lead. Pop-Tart Pete already under pressure.
Crash in the back.
And it'll be Luke Chadwick and Jake Hare. And we get an incident report this time. Jake Hare, big front end damage now. What happened, huh? Let's take a look.
And if he doesn't have to park because of damage, we might have to
pull the plug on Mr.
Hare.
Jake Hare. So where does this go wrong? 9 car in front of him. Oh, it was Luke Chadwick.
Oh.
What happened to Luke Chadwick?
Like he locked them brakes up a little too early there.
I wonder if he caught the grass. Oh, loose on entry. Nowhere for Lane Myers, Luke Chadwick, or Jake Hare to go. And we were about to blame it all on Jake Hare there. Oh, no. Jacob Alicia, Douglas Henry, Pop-Tart, Pete Matthew Legat, green flag, back underway. Does Doug try it again? Herverton doesn't leave the door open. Doug checks up pretty early. I'm looking throughout the field. Everybody seemed to get through. Spick and span. Douglas Henry falls into third. Legat side by side with Pop-Tart Pete. Daniel Nance, Aiden Gould side by side. Just behind them is Greg Ajodiat driving his way up right now from that 11th position into 7th. Getting around Daniel Nance. Here we go into the bus stop, Zippy. Matthew Legat, Pete Tart side by side. Pete will give Matt the room. He gives him the room. Look through the rest of the bus stop. I think everybody made it. And look who's back out on track, David Wright.
Man, that was really close back there with Gordon Spain.
Now we just got to make it the other half of the track. Right now, Dylan Herverton leads over Jacob Alicia. Jacob staying within range. You got to look back to Douglas Henry, just about second and a half behind the pair. Aiden Gould, Pop-Tart Pete still battling. Look who's driving his way through the field right now. Greg and Jodiat, a rocket on rails. Let's go ahead and go cockpit view with Jodiat.
Well, I'm curious to know, you know, we get one road course, so we don't have an SVG, right? Where every time you go to a road course, you know this guy's going to win, right? And I know Jacob Alesi is that guy in most people's minds, but he didn't win last season. He didn't get the pole this season due to two quote unquote party poopers, right? But some of these guys through the pack, like, I want to know what all of their strategies are, and realistically, you ask some guys, hey, every time I join, hey, are you going to run today? And they always tell me yes. And I say, okay, well, are you going to win today? And I'll tell you 95% of the time they say no. So I want to know who here has the confidence, and I think Joe Houston, I think you're on the right track there with Joe, but like, who here has the confidence to flip that stage thinking I'm doing this to win the race, not I'm doing this just to get stage points or whatever, right? I want to know who says I'm flipping the stage because I'm trying to win.
Yeah, and we won't know until the time gets down, and we talked about the rules pre-race. I'm going to talk about them live on the show. So we've been able to pull in Thomas Melnick from the Frontier Truck Tour on Mondays to be in the tower for today. So he's going to make sure that the cautions fall when they need to, make sure pit road closed 2 laps prior to the stage caution. But let's talk about that stage caution. So the planned yellow for the end of the stage, where the top 10 get the points, is lap 31. But if a yellow comes out within 8 laps of lap 31, so if a yellow comes out by lap 23 and so on, it eliminates that stage caution. That is the stage caution. So if we get a caution lap 23, that will officially be the stage caution. First place, 10 points. Second place, 9 points. All the way down to 10th place, who gets 1 point. That matters a lot to these guys back here. Jacob Alesi, Douglas Henry, Matthew Legatt, Aiden Gould, Greg Jodiet, Joe Houston, all battling for that points championship. I am just excited as you, but also kind of weary as you. What exactly are we going to see? Is there anything going to be anything out of the box? Again, this is a PALracing first. So what tricks do people have?
And I hope that, one day we can get to a point where you can really reward
contact. I don't think Aiden Gould knew Nance was looking low, and if he did not give him the room. Sends Nance back. That was a great save, but Aiden Gould, elbows out. Can you believe that? That was some contact. Logan Wilson, though, you could tell he wants to get these positions. You can tell he's a little bit quicker. He is having some patience, but he's driving angry back there. Stephen James looks to the inside of Raymond Wimmer. Logan Wilson ready to pounce. Stephen James up the inside, gets the position. Logan tries to capitalize. I think Logan will get Raymond, and he even tries to get to the inside of Stephen James. Stephen has it up the S's, but remember, these S's are tricky. You can't kick that car out sideways as much. So maybe Logan, he sets himself up even better here as we get down the back straight into the bus stop. Logan Wilson jumps to the inside, not quite, gets back in line. Look at that aggressive entry. He's right all over the back bumper of Stephen James. Look at him.
But you go to the road course, and that's all you get to talk about is SVG or Daniel Suarez or, a handful of other guys that you don't normally get to talk about. And just like right now, granted, these guys are fighting for 7th, 8th, 6th place, but it's still exciting to see these guys put in a good lap. There's
Nance loses it. He's going to get it out of the way, out there on the exit of the bus stop. Doesn't rejoin unsafely, so we do stay green. Raymond Wimmer now catches him with Michael Alfaro. That was close. You could tell he was probably not the happiest that Logan Wilson got around him, pushed it really hard, and lost it. And I also just got an off track from Jacob Alesi. No, he's entering pit road. Jacob Alesi, pit road entry. And you might need to do some investigation for me, Zippy, to figure out where the fuel tank sits here in these cars, how long's the fuel run. But I do not know why Jacob Alesi is entering pit road.
All right, no, we've got word back from Mr. Alesi.
What's the word?
The word is, this is strategy. This is what he wanted to do. Okay. But he also needs fuel.
Okay. Well, we look back towards the front. Aiden Gould, incident with him. Looks like exit of turn 1. Gets it back going straight. Issues for Gould and Nance. Gordon Spain trying to enter pit road. Big heavy damage.
Oh,
Gets
man.
it behind the wall. This won't throw a yellow, but it will end the day for Spain.
It's tough.
Let's see, was he trying to enter pit road or did he lose it on this final corner? Oh, in the grass? Then into the braking zone. Oh, here it is. Oh, slams the wall. Oh, we missed what happened. Hold on. Thank you.
Slam the wall, slam the barrier there.
Yeah, you definitely hit those barrels. Season 3 top rookie. Oh, gnarly. He gets it down and turned. The engine's blown. The day is done for Gordon Spain. Dylan Herberton enters pit road, lap 27. When he crosses the stripe, it'll be lap 28. Logan Wilson is in the second position. He stays out, so he will take the lead. So now the trigger will be on him for the lap 29. So next time around, Logan Wilson will trigger the pit road closure. So this is everybody's last chance to head down pit road. And I hope that gets communicated.
Nans went in, so I think everybody who hasn't been in is in now.
Well,
Aaron
and again,
Warren,
that's
Luke
with
Chadwick.
the exception of Logan Wilson and Joe Houston. So Logan Wilson, Joe Houston are staying out to get the stage points. What does this do for Joe Houston? Take a look at the points pick, guys. 320 points, 10 behind Aiden Gould. It looks like he'll finish second in the stage. That'll earn him 9 points. That's good. That's what he needs. Jacob Alicia, 4th. Douglas Henry, 5th. Matthew Legatt, 6th. Pete Tart, 7th. Greg Jody at 8th. And it appears Aiden Gould, 1 lap down, will not receive any stage points, which means he has to go for the win, but he's not even in the free pass position. And Logan Wilson, how about this for him? Our first ever stage in PALracing. Logan Wilson is known as our dark horse going into the Glen as he rounds turn 9 on a different strategy, staying out. Logan Wilson will win the very first stage in PALracing. Now we look back towards Stephen James. So we are green flag racing at the moment. Logan Wilson, Joe Houston, Dylan Herberton. They need to stay in it. They do not lift. Now at the line, Herberton settles out in 3rd. We are still actively racing. They could still lose positions, FYI. So if Herberton gets around Joe, he has that for the caution, but Herberton will still only get the 3rd place points. Here comes Stephen James, 10th place car, coming into turn 8 through turn 9. So you can see Joe Houston, in terms of track position for the yellow, wants to stay in front of Herb. Herb will have him. And Stephen James from turn 8 to turn 9, as soon as he crosses the stripe, will conclude the very first stage in PALracing. Holds off Raymond Wimmer, who definitely needed those points. And now the caution will fall. There it is, right on time. Barney throws the flag. Yeah, here we go. Dylan Herberton leads him again. Pop-Tart Pete. He's somebody that wants to get up there and get a win again. But how will they fare into turn 1? We got to watch out. Will anybody overdrive Chris Warren? Back of Daniel Nance. Chris goes off track, trying to avoid causing a wreck. That is a veteran move out of Chris Warren. It hurts him, but saves the rest of the field. Up through the S's, we seem to be A-okay at the moment. Daniel Nance tucks in line behind Jacob Alicia. Herberton with the lead. Greg Jodiet got around Pop-Tart Pete. And then it's Stephen James, the butt snorkeler, followed by Alicia, Nans, Legatt, Wimmer, Henry, and Haskins. Into the bus stop. Herberton gets through with ease. The rest of the field following. I don't see any incidences. No issues all the way through the bus stop. And it is a nice and flowy snake. Oh, Michael Alfaro. He's 1 lap
He was
down.
trying to get out of the way there.
Yup, trying to get out of the way. Nans will dodge him. That was close. But back to the front. Herberton, Jodiet, Tart, and Stephen
Alicia
James
sideways.
under attack by Alicia. Alicia was really pushing it there. And here we go at the stripe. Dylan Herberton will lead him. But everybody has been running nice, clean, and hard. We've had a single spin here and there, but pretty contactless for the most part as Pete Tart challenges Greg Jodiet around the outside in turn 9. Can he get it from Greg? Side by side, down the front stretch. Alicia right there trying to interject into this battle. Here we go, into turn 1. Pete on the outside, Jody up the inside, giving each other plenty of room. Almost exit is a little tight. Pete right on top of the rumble strip. I like this entry out of Pete. That top line, that outside line feels a little bit better up through the S's. And you'll see Greg Jody just plows on the outside there. It's so hard to get that car rotated with the stiff suspension, and he will lose 2 positions. Alicia will go by. Meanwhile, Nans, Doug, Jodiet, all still battling for that position. Doug starting to apply the pressure on Daniel Nans. Douglas Henry looking really good right now. Daniel Nans trying to set up Greg Jody. I think Daniel Nans is actually coming to enter pit road. And so is Greg. Greg and Nans both enter pit road. Get it slowed down. Pop-Tart Pete also on pit road. Dylan Herbertson also entered pit road. So Douglas Henry cycles out to the lead at the moment. Joe Houston there in second. Raymond Wimmer third. And the rest of the field appears that they have pit. Pit road exit just behind the pace car. You can see Pete Tart, Dylan Herbertson, Greg Jodiet. Believe I also see Steven James. Another car pulls in. I think that might be Davion Haskins. Daniel Nans. And here comes pit out. Right now, a battle on track. Pop-Tart Pete gets around Jacob Alicia. Perhaps an issue with Alicia somewhere, because now they're dead even into the bus stop. Who will lift? Alicia attacks, trying to go around the top side of Pete. Pete cuts it really close to that wall. Almost damaged, and Alicia goes, hey, young gun, that's all me all day, baby. Dylan Herbertson exited pit road. Oh, Matthew Legatt crash. Bus stop. Trying to rejoin. That is going to ruin his race. The implications. Gets it back going straight, P11. Meanwhile, it's Dylan Herbertson running down Logan Wilson. How will these guys cycle out? Right now, Dylan Herbertson appears to be the relative leader. Wilson, Wimmer, Houston yet to pit. Somebody needs to stop this 07, but Logan is going to try to battle him. Logan Wilson will challenge. Just like Logan Wilson on old tires had to try to fight Hunter East for the lead, he's doing the same with Dylan Herbertson. Does that mean Logan believes he can make it to the end on fuel? I just don't see how he can, but he's putting up a fight right now. Logan knows something, thinking something we don't, whereas Herbertson is fighting really hard just to get that lead. Looking to the inside of Logan Wilson. I don't know how long he's going to be able to hang on, but with Herbertson getting to the inside, that might be the position there into turn 1. I doubt Logan will give up, though. Pinches him low. Really good exit out of the 76. Really good at running that high line. You're fighting for it. You can't give it up now, but to the S's. Herbertson has the advantage, and Wilson tucks back in line, but a great battle out of the pair.
Joe and Raymond will still have to pit.
We find Joe Houston with 11 laps to go in this race. I don't think he has enough fuel in the tank, neither does Raymond, both hoping for a caution. I think all of us are hoping for a caution.
I'll say it.
Logan Wilson around exit of the bus stop. Trying to get it back straight. In front of traffic. And he's still stopped. He's still inverted. That will throw the yellow. Even though he's out of the way, we can't have a car facing the wrong way for too long, stuck in a spot. It will throw the yellow. But Logan Wilson, he must have been pushing really hard there to get back to Herbertson.
Do it again, but I guess I don't have to this week thanks to Logan Wilson. But, you know, a lot of these guys, if we base the end off of what has been happening, we're going to see Pete Tart drop back a little bit. We're going to see Greg and Alicia go up. Man, he just can't get it straight through those S's.
Right, and he made contact with the right front there on entry. That'll undo him. Continue, Zippy.
So, like I said, we're going to see Pete drop back a little bit. We'll see Greg and Alicia probably go up just a hair. I would expect to see Raymond drop back a little bit, and that's only due to the performance through this whole season. And, you know, Joe is a fast driver, and if we keep talking about him, he'll be there in the end. That's how this thing works, right?
A good launch out of him. Alicia side by side. Here we go, baby. Herviton clears the field. Into turn 1. Can Alicia set him up? Greg overdrives, jumps to the outside. We got cars 4 wide, 3 wide. Chris Warren in the grass, saves it. Great save out of Chris Warren. Logan Wilson trying to drive his way up through the field. Herviton gets out front. Pete Tart into second. Alicia third. We look in the back. Big crash. Oh no! Davion Haskins got the David Rudiman treatment. This could be the last restart of the race, or do we go into overtime? Herviton gets a good jump again. Here comes Jacob Alicia. Pete Tart just to his outside, 3 wide behind Doug. A really good charge to the corner. They're 3 wide behind him. Logan Wilson, Aiden Gould make contact. Legat Doug 3 wide with Lane Myers. But Pete Tart into second. Herviton gets away again. Up through the S's. Alicia just on the rear. But Pete Tart, it's going to be his turn to try to run down Dylan Herviton. Dylan is just looking so bad fast. Through the S's. I don't see any incidents yet. Seems to be A-okay. We look back towards the back. Chris Warren had a bad entrance into the bus stop, but we stay green. Herviton, Pete, Alicia, Greg, Nans, and Legat battling for position. Legat looking to the inside of Daniel Nans into turn 8. Nans will shut the door. Legat drifts up to the top. Battle for 5th. Legat needs every point he can get. But Dylan Herviton down the straightaway. 2 laps to go, and he is already pulling away. Does Pete Tart have anything for him? Alicia almost to the rear bumper of the 54. Douglas Henry falling back now. Lane Myers, Matthew Legat giving him trouble. Logan Wilson just in there. Aiden Gould into 11th. Joe Houston still 12th. Jacob Alicia trying to make the move on Pop-Tart Pete. Incident for Lane Myers. Big wreck. Gould, Myers wrecking in front of the field. Thrown.
Joe gets around Aiden.
Yellow
there.
again. Everybody's going to make it past Lane Myers. Aiden Gould, contact in the S's. Alicia was right. It was going to be trouble on this part of the track, and we will go into overtime. Up through the S's, so here's Aiden. So we got to figure out what happened to Lane here. Aiden probably left with nowhere to go. Here's
big
Lane
contact
Myers.
too.
So Lane is plowing the S's, comes in the wall, gets caught in it, and Aiden nowhere to go. Unfortunate. Lane Myers plowed the S like we've been talking about. Look at Stephen James barely misses. Luke Chadwick, Aaron Warren, Davion Haskins, David Wright, Gordon Larson Jr. make it by. Into the restart zone. Green flag is out. It's an overtime here at the Glen. Into the corner. Jacob Alicia, hard launch around the top. There's a lot of cars, 3-4 wide. Joe Houston. Jacob Alicia with issues. We stay green. Back to the front. Herviton, no, the yellow will fall. Jacob Alicia from 2nd to 14th. Joe Houston involved. Davion Haskins, Luke Chadwick. Oh, no.
Did he just miss the break? What happened there?
Alicia really tried to push it. Look at Nance block Doug on the bottom line. That's going to stack these guys up. Alicia, gets into the grass. Joe ran over by possibly Raymond. And what happened back here? Here we go. So look at Nance. Good block on Doug, trying to control that bottom. Doug pushes him off to the corner. Doesn't really do anything with the 95. Luke Chadwick flying up the inside. Joe Houston up into Raymond Wimmer. Luke hits the curb, gets into Joe. Davion nowhere to go. Luke tried to send it, and it did not work out for these guys. Hoping it's the last restart of the night. Pete Tart to his outside.
Green flag, green flag.
Right there is Greg Jodit, Matthew Legat. Green flag is out. Into turn 1. Here we go. A lot of room being given between the leaders. Greg is able to follow in. Alicia just made a 3-wide move to the bottom to grab some positions. And now Dylan Herviton leads Greg Jodiet. Pete Tart Matthew Leggett up through the S's. Can Greg Jodiet get there? And already losing time to Herviton. Herviton into the bus stop. He's been flawless here, one of his best spots on the track, but Greg is not afraid to push it. Greg trying to close. Might have grabbed the 10th.
Greg
No,
had a
he loses it on
S's
exit.
there.
Pete Tart to the rear bumper of Greg Jodiet. 2 more corners for Herviton. They'll see the white flag, and a yellow cannot fly no matter what happens. Herviton, Jodiet, Tart, Leggett, Nans, Henry, Wimmer, Alicia, James, Aaron Warren, your top 10. From turn 8 to turn 9, Herviton continues to lead. Puts another 10th on Greg Jodiet. White flag one more time around for Dylan Herviton and the gang. Pete Tart goes to make the move on Greg Jodiet for that second position. He sends it in. He will Logan Wilson it. Almost in front of Jodiet. Leggett will squeak by. He almost took out Herviton. That was gnarly. And I think that was a pucker moment for Dylan Herviton when he made it out. Man, I thought Pete was going to get him. Pete continues to fall back. Douglas Henry. Greg Jodiet hurt his finish.
This is your race for the points lead right here. Greg Jodiet and Douglas Henry, and Henry's able to get around Jodiet because of that.
End of the bus stop. Can Jodiet get back a position? The gap right now for the lead. Leggett already 2 seconds off of Herviton. Daniel Nance move into third. Dylan Herviton, 2 more corners. He's led every competitive lap here tonight. Hit the strategy right. Maintain the gaps. One of the best dominant performances we've ever seen on Watkins Glen. Turn 8 into turn 9. And Dylan Herviton,
battle with Greg.
first career win for Dylan Herviton in PALracing is here at the Glen. Aaron Warren sent into pit road at the line. Douglas beats Jodiet. Oh, Aaron Warren got sent into pit road. Car is killed. But how about that for Dylan Herviton?
I appreciate you, Matt.
Good win.
Good fucking win, Dylan. Perfectly deserved.
That was a well.
Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate you. You did a great job, man.
Thank yous and appreciations coming out of the mouth of Dylan Herviton, throwing out compliments to his competitors. Man, was that close with Pete Tart there. I think we even have the replay. Let's take a look at it. He goes to set up Greg Jodiet. Hard to the braking zone. The car's sideways. Oh, I thought he was going to get to Herviton. Does a good job at locking it up. Some contact with Greg, but hangs on to it.
That is heartbreaking for Greg.
But Dylan Herviton, he's doing a burnout on the exit of the carousel. Hasn't even made it back to the start-finish line yet, but how about that for Dylan Herviton? Matthew Leggett comes home second. Daniel Nance, podium from him, and third. Douglas Henry, fourth. Greg Jodiet, fifth. Pete Tart, sixth. Jacob Alicia, seventh. Stephen James, great finish out of him in eighth. Raymond Wimmer, ninth. Joe Houston, 10th. Dylan burns it down over here. And the kitty litter, leaving a mess for the New Yorkers to clean up. Dylan Herviton has spoiled the show here at Watkins Glen. Herv got it done right here at Watkins Glen. Picking different spots on the track to do some burnouts, but you win your first ever race in PALracing. Comes at the road course. Are you going to call yourself a road course ringer, or is there more to your speed as we get into the oval races late in this season?
I don't know, man. That was a lot of fun, though. I'm really happy to get it done here at the Glen. This is one of my favorite tracks. If you get the right people and can get good racing going, it makes it a lot of fun. And I'm really thankful to for letting me race here. And it's just it's a relief, man. It's like I always question myself if I'm ever getting better. I feel like I work hard and try to get better at it. and I get to come out here in a car that I'm not very familiar with and run as good as I did. So that means a lot to me, nonetheless. So I do appreciate it.
Dylan, what
Dylan.
made you so fast here tonight?
Like I said, my skill with the road courses and the top 3 series of cars is a big deal for me. I've spent a lot of time on this track between next gen trucks and Cup or Xfinity. Probably my least car is the Xfinity, which is crazy that I can come out here and do this. But I think once you start driving a track so much and you start learning like where the bumps and stuff are and where the braking zones and stuff are, you can start to attack them better. And I think that was a big thing for me, is just the amount of laps that I have around this place. I do want to give a shout out to Jacob Alicia, people like him. Pete Tart was up there. It was just those guys. I know that Jacob was teaching a lot of people this week and practicing with them. He was really fast himself. So it's really cool to see that. And I hate to see what happened there in turn 1. He definitely was 10 times better than 7th place. But he was good, and I have a lot of respect for Jacob Alicia in the short time that I've known him. So I just want to say, I hate to see where he finished, but I wish it was a lot of fun racing with him. And like I said, Pete and all those people up there. It's really cool, man. I'm going to soak this one in because as you know, I win in the front tour league every now and then.
Every now and then.
Yeah. But when you get to come out here and do this with a group of people who, I've come to know and spend a lot of time with you guys, it means a lot, and it means so much to just come out here and finish where we did. So I'm really thankful, and I appreciate everything you do, Noah.
Dylan Hervitson, first career win for you in PALracing. Gets it done at the road course. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
We'll send Dylan down. Now time to grab your P2 finisher, Matthew Legatt. Matt, no in the booth. You got a copy.
I got you. Sorry, I had to hop out of the car. I was so excited. Can't believe I got P2.
Matt, you've been a consistent finisher all season. Well, maybe not finish, but definitely a consistent racer all season. You're able to get a P2 here. Can you kind of walk us through maybe your emotions there on that last turn with Pete Tart taking Greg Jody at wide?
Yeah, so going into the final lap in general, we hit the white flag, and I was like, okay, there's no more overtimes. Just got to coast it around, take my top 5. That's all I wanted going into this race. Solid points day, put me inside the top 5 in points. And it looks like I was going to do that. I was going to finish 4th, and then Pete Tart, out of nowhere, just tries to Logan Wilson turn 1 and takes Greg with him. And I'm like, sweet, dive to the inside, take those spots, and watch Dylan cruise to victory. So, yeah, it was pretty crazy. That's like a win for me coming out P2. So, good points day. Gap some of the guys behind me in points.
It walks you up into the top 5 for points for sure. And I believe the only person in contention with you now for that 5th position is going to be Jacob Alicia. Are you going to be able to keep him back there as we finish out the season?
I think so. Some of the tracks coming up are pretty strong for me. I still feel like I could have won Richmond last season. I finished top 3 at Darlington, and I recommended Old Atlanta before the season for a reason. So hopefully come out next week and get that first career win.
Alrighty, congratulations on the P2, Matt.
Thank you.
We're going to have to go ahead and jump down and talk to your P3 finisher, getting his first podium possibly. I think this is, maybe his first podium in PAL. Daniel Nans, you got a copy?
Yep, my copy.
There we go. Now we can finally hear you. Daniel, your first career win. Or sorry, my bad. Your first career podium finish in PAL comes right here at the Glen. You had a lot of speed. You saw some carnage. You survived. Talk about it.
I feel pretty good about the race. Definitely could have gone better, could have gotten worse, but I just kept my foot in it and kept driving through everything that happened.
Alrighty. Well, congratulations, Daniel, on the top 3. You're building that momentum. I think you've locked yourself in as being the Season 4 top rookie, which gives you a ticket to the All-Star race for seasons to come. Congratulations, Daniel.
Thanks.
We'll set Daniel back down, and Zippy, that is going to conclude the race here tonight. Oh my, what a race it was.
Yes, sir. I love the road course. I want 2 next season. I don't know if we'll be able to fit it in, but I love where you put it too. Made it really interesting for the points race. It's tight going into the next few weeks. I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that first and second place are going to be 1 point apart going into next week. And it's going to be Douglas Henley and Greg Jodiet.
Same time, same place next week, Tuesday. It is Old Atlanta. The championship battle heating up. The track's going to be hotter. I'll see you then.